nice because they really are a work of art. To study the detail in the design of them is, a rare opportunity up so close.
I thought it was interesting. As soon as we left, they went into alert mode. Look around, like, what can I find? What can I see?
Yeah, they're half asleep when they're back in the poultry school, and then as soon as we step outside, they're on the lookout. Now, when they're held on the glove, they're on the lookout for scary things. But in a few moments, when they're loose in the trees, they are on the lookout for prey. Now, they should hopefully keep one eye on me, because I'm just a walking bag of easy meat. But also, they will have one eye on the surrounding area, particularly at this time of the year, because there are a lot of young stuff about.
Yes.
Now, there isn't any of their main prey in the castle grounds, like rabbits, pheasants, and so on. But there are small fry, there are mice, voles, squirrels, frogs, etc. And we do catch the odd one of those from time to time. And you see as they look now that they can't move their eye. The eye is too big to move, it's fixed in the socket. So they have to turn their head every time they want to look around. And it's quite frustrating when you want to take a photograph of them. Now we're just going to step onto the glass here. But they do have twice as many neck vertebrae as we do, so they can turn their head 270 degrees either way. Okay, now we'll stop by here. Behaviour, not for something else they've done that they think they've got the reward for. So it gets quite complicated. So we're going to send him off, we're going to cast him off. Now the first thing to do is to just open your fist and let go of the jesses. Now I know he's got you handcuffed there, so he's free to go at any time. Now you're going to lift him up, you raise your glove up, that's perfect. And the last step, in a moment now as I walk away, you're going to give a little push forwards just to say off you go now. Not so much an up, but just a little push.
And he knows just to go.
He will. So you can now just give him a little push forwards. Now see here, he's really sneaky. I want him to go into those trees there.
He has no interest.
It's partly her fault because she used to get away with being able to do this. Now ideally, you see, I don't want to reward him for this behaviour.
Right.
For the first flights, it's nicer if the birds will go a little bit further away, because when it's your first time, it's nice for you to have a bit of time to get organised. And usually these two hawks work very well for me. Now I'm going to try and get him to go across to the big tree, but sometimes I manage it and sometimes I don't.
All right. We wish you luck.
Yes, he does look like he's going to... Hey, come on.
Is the presence of her affecting his behavior?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Although, here it goes.
There he goes.
It was her habit and he picked it up.
Oh, I
now
see.
He's going to come to you.
He learned by...
Close up your fist, and before you know it, oh my God, it's very quick. Now we're going to do it again. You just relax your elbow down into your side, and I can take up his jesses, although really I don't need to bother, because we're going to go for that straight away again, and it'll be interesting to see whether he does the same thing again. So you lift him up, so he's looking this way. As I walk away now, give a little push forwards, and there you see, he knows it, he knows he shouldn't do it. Keep your eye on him.
He's come back.
Because he's back.
There he goes.
I don't think he landed.
He didn't even land. He did a loop.
Relax your elbow back to your side there, and I'll give you his jesses. Oh, but he's smart, this one. I mean, we can sort of walk along each bird, and I can say, oh, he's really intelligent, he's a bit stupid, and so on. and Ishka's one of the smart ones.
Don't let him know
with those
that.
4 baby boys now, as soon as we start training them, we'll know very quickly who's clever and who's not. It'll reveal itself very early on in training. So there you see, he tried his luck, he went the minimum distance possible, he asked for his food reward, and I said no, you can't have it. And luckily this time it worked in my favour and I got away with it, but sometimes he calls my bluff and I end up having to give it anyway. And then he didn't even try it the next time, but he did not land.
It's interesting that he...
I've gone this way, so now I can get my food reward.
I mean, it's interesting that he knew that he did the improper behavior and he needed to do the right thing to get the reward.
Absolutely. And as staff, with each of us, they will test us out and find out who's a little bit more lenient or who can get away with what behaviour. It can be very questionable some days who trains who, actually. Sometimes he can have me quite nicely under his control, and I find myself giving bigger rewards of meat for behaviour that doesn't warrant it. And I think, how did that happen?
Right.
You managed to get that out of me. Now, if you go back a couple of steps with him, so he knows he's finished for the minute, and if Millie comes forward, and she's just hunting out of her skin straight away, I can see her scanning in the woods the whole time. Oh, it is. So exactly the same thing with Millie. So you open your fist to let go of her, so she's free to go any time, and then you lift her up. Perfect. You're going to bring her slightly back, and then as I walk away now, give a little push forwards to say off you go.
Sort of push my arm
Just
towards
a
you.
little push with the glove forward. That's it. It's just a movement almost to...
Oh, she was a good girl.
Perfect. Here she comes. Close up your fist. Perfect.
Oh, it's good.
She's got it. Oh, yes, she'll have it. By the time those feet are on that glove, that piece of meat is in the boot. Now you can slowly relax your elbow back to your side. Now we're going to do it again, so I don't need to take up hold of the Jessie. But you see, she's come good now. She used to have that habit of just landing close by, and she taught him to do it. He was doing that. But yeah, well, most birds of prey don't like dogs. Harris hawks have a huge dislike of them. Because we think because they would live in the wild in South America with coyotes.
Okay.
So it's a
fearful response or an aggressive
It is
response?
a fearful response.
Fearful, okay.
But they give quite a loud growl as a warning call, and they want to go up to the top of the tree. Interestingly, we can train them to work with dogs. They will get to know an individual dog that could be a hunting type like a pointer, and they will work in partnership together. But it's only because they've got to know that individual dog. And it's not learned behaviour. If you hatched her out of an egg and she never saw another hawk, the first time she sees a dog, she will react. So it's passed on genetically, but they don't have to learn it from a parent. Okay, so now you can lift her up, and then you give just a little push. I mean, I know she's not looking the right way. Now we'll keep our eye on her. She's hunting something. She's seeing something. Just watch her away.
Oh,
the bird.
That's something.
She is, well, I don't know that she's got it. I don't think she's got it. He thinks he wants to go. You're going to go in a minute, Ishka. You're going to go in a minute.
As soon as she flew off, he perked right up and started watching.
She was really
He's like,
close.
she found something.
Yeah.
I can hear her bells. I don't think she's got it.
Would she eat it there, or would
Oh,
she...
here she comes.
Good girl, Lily. Now you hold up, you close your fist so that the food sits on top and doesn't drop through. Hold it slightly back so you can feed it there. Good girl, Lily. Perfect. And then just relax your elbow down to your side. Now see, she's very possessive over the meat now. As I took a step closer, she dropped that wing down.
She gave you the shoulder.
So
She's like, my
it's
meat.
very clear warning.
I did the
from
right
her.
thing. I should get the meat.
Yeah, no, it's very clear. That's very possessive over the food. And if I reached in at the wrong time then to take hold of the food, she will learn to fly off with it. And it's a really tricky habit. And it has knock-on effects then. Absolutely, yeah. And it's,
Oh, and he's following suit. He's going with her.
I'm interested to see how these two get on. I haven't flown these two as a pair for a little while, and the other falconers have been reporting to me that she's been picking on him a bit. She can be a little bit of a bully.
Oh, I see.
And so I'm going to be observing them even more closely than I normally do, because I want to see how big an issue it is and
Right. I mean, especially regarding an inferior male, right?
Yes. Usually when we fly a female with a male, we're normally all right because she is so clearly dominant.
Mm-hmm.
The only difficulty here, I think, with these two is that he is older than her. So although she's female and she's bigger and she's dominant because of that,
Yes.
it is a little bit tricky in that he is older.
Okay.
How long do you think it is?
Oh, they're coming.
No, that's all right. You can just let them go on past. Don't worry.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
No, that's okay. If they're just following. Now you can hold up your fist for him as well, so he can. That's fine. But they can both go without food. No, you're not getting anything there. Wait a minute. Now they're both being very good, but I have to let that behaviour go unrewarded because, I mean, in fairness to them, they thought that we were calling them in, but they just need to wait a bit.
Okay.
But we'll do it on the next time. Seeing as they appear to be on very good form. So what we'll try to do is.
She's like, all right. She's like, I'll try. She's like, I'll try again.
If you're in their flight path, they don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, they just need to go,
They
right?
expect you to move. Yeah.
That's right.
Now he can sit there. That's fine. What we'll try to do is when we're walking, have the glove down by your side, and only when we want to have them then will we stop and hold the gloves up. I mean, I shouldn't need really to tell you that because both of these birds are a few years old, and I think he's 5, I think she's 4, or it might be 3 and 4. But they're both very experienced. They've done this many, many times.
Okay.
So they know their job really. I mean, when we first start flying as babies with people, we have to be very strict with people saying, glove down and glove up, so it's very clear for them because they're learning.
Right.
So these two know their job.
So if they come back down, we're just going to let them go by?
You can let them go on by until we decide that we're having them in.
All right. We're in charge here.
Supposedly. And in fact, as we walk along now, I might just tuck some food into your gloves. So you can come alongside me and we'll continue to walk. I'm going to give you a piece of meat in there. You close your fist and keep it down.
She's coming.
That's all right. And you want to turn and watch them and keep your glove down.
Yep.
So in a moment, and here he comes.
he goes.
Perfect. Now let's have them both down from there. That's going to be fabulous. They're both going to just drop down from the sky. So both of you hold up your gloves now and keep your eye on them. Both gloves up. Hey! And you open your fingers now to show them that the food is there. They'll be looking for it anyway. But they're fabulous, when they come down from right above you. And then you can keep your fingers open so that the birds can convince themselves or satisfy themselves that you haven't kept a sneaky piece back for yourself.
Right.
We never cheat them out of food, but they always think we could. They never quite lose sight of that possibility.
They would never forgive us.
So we need to be very fair and open always in our dealings with the food. And so that's how we'll do it from now on. As we walk along, I'll tuck food into your glove, and then when we're ready to stop, you can just hold up your gloves and enjoy watching them coming in instead of being concerned about food. It's important that the birds will come whether they can see food or not. Now, he is scanning the ground there. He's desperately hoping for the slightest movement from a mouse.
Right.
He'll start to walk on.
All right.
See, he hasn't changed his position at all. Yeah, he's not wanting to move, just the bare minimum, in the hope that a mouse will just reveal itself and then he'll drop down and have a hold on it. But we won't go much further before we have them back here.
Okay.
Now I'll give you food again. I'll tell you to have your glove down by your side then. And the same for you as we're walking.
All right.
I need to keep walking.
Stealthy. We got to keep moving. All right, there we go.
As soon as I stop, that is part of their cue.
Right. They're like, oh, food.
They know that I'm up to something once we stop. So we know that both birds are behind us, so you can turn and look for them and both hold up your gloves now.
And here they come.
And then reveal the piece of
Wonderful.
there, and she should turn herself around in a moment. She's landed all in a hiddly-piddly. What a messy landing, really.
And we can bring them in.
And so you've swapped around now. You've got
We have.
Billy,
Oh, he's off
and you'll
again.
feel a difference in the. He's hunting. He knows he gets a chance of seeing a mouse in the woods there. You'll feel a difference in the weight from having had him and then having her. There's quite a considerable difference there. Now, so far, although we've only just started, both birds are being perfect. They are coming the second that we ask them to.
Yes.
They are following us quite attentively. If they continue like this the whole time we fly them, then I will write them a perfect report. We write a report every time we fly every hawk, and this is how we know if we have the flying weight correct. Perfect. We'll walk along.
All right.
So far I can't fault them. But now he's gone off into the woods, so we'll see how quickly he comes out of there in a moment, because they know they've more chance of catching something in the woods than they do if they stick to these walkways. So that kind of tests a little bit whether their weight is correct, whether they're very attentive to me, or whether they're wandering off and self-hunting.
Right. Now they are typically solitary hunters, right?
No, Harris hawks aren't, and this is how we're able to bring out two now. But most birds of prey are. I'll just keep the glove down there.
Somebody's coming in.
She can go on past, that's all right. And the
goes.
same for you there.
Thank you.
Now, conscious
Yeah.
that Ish hasn't yet come out of the woods, so we'll just go a short distance more and then we'll call him. And this will be an interesting test of his response time, because this is what we call a blind call. As far as I know, he can't see me, I can't see him.
Right.
So if you turn and look now and hold up your gloves. Hey! Hey! Whee! Here he comes. Perfect. And you should see that your glove is there. Excellent. Good girl. And you can keep your fingers open so that she can satisfy herself that she's had all of the... So there, he looked lovely then, didn't he, when he just suddenly just appeared out. Because I didn't think he was going to come, actually. I couldn't hear his bell. Ideally, I don't want to reward her off the floor. She's being mobbed now by a small bird, so that's persuaded her to go off. No, Melinda. Come on, good girl. Well, go up into the tree then, and then you'll get your reward.
She's like, no.
A chicken impression.
Chicken. Walking chicken.
I think I'll have to give in to her because there's nowhere convenient for her to land. So you can both hold up your fists now.
Oh, okay.
Hey! And hold up your fist, that's it. And then open your fist to show the food there. Perfect. Get it on.
Did you get it?
So you may have seen the small bird mobbing her there, because these little birds will have nests close close by, so they don't want the hawks to stay in this area.
Ah. Oh.
Did I drop a bit? Yes, there's a tiny little bit there.
They found the superior eyes.
That's absolutely that he saw. Now, if your fist is higher than mine, he hops up, and we'll just turn and we'll start to walk back up, and then we'll do our little cut through of the woods when we get a bit further on.
Wonderful.
Now, they've virtually no sense of smell. They're just breathing through those nostrils.
Ah.
She can't smell anything. She can't smell the meat, and she can't smell prey. And their hearing is better than ours, but they're not like an owl that can locate prey just on hearing alone. Everything really is that eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all sorts of other tricks with their eyesight. They can dilate and constrict their pupil voluntarily. So if she's chasing a rabbit in a bright sunlit field and it runs into a dark wood, as she goes from bright to dark, she'll dilate the pupils herself, whereas you and I have to wait for a moment for our eyesight to adjust if we're in a dark cave.
They're very monkey see, monkey do, I know.
Oh, well, yes, he'll follow and he tends to follow her. But this would be them hunting collectively as well.
I see.
When we hunt with two hawks, one of them goes ahead of us and the other one goes behind. So that if you were to flush a pheasant or a wild rabbit, then you've got both ways covered, basically.
Would they would then share the food if one of them caught it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. When they're hunting in groups in the wild, the food would be shared. Not all that amicably, and it doesn't necessarily follow that who caught it gets to eat the biggest
Right.
share.
It's probably whoever's the bigger bird.
Who's dominant in the pack order. Now, I'll give you food again as we go.
So what are the cluster and numbers of how many in the wild?
Harris hawks are doing reasonably well in terms of their numbers in the wild.
But I mean in a particular hunting party, I mean.
The size can vary. I mean, it can be sort of 5 or 6, or it can be up to 11 or 12.
Oh wow, okay.
And they'll come, different family groups will then come close together and they'll cross over to avoid inbreeding.
But they certainly then would have to, I could see when you get that many, you would definitely have to form some sort of pecking order of sorts, right? Of who
They do, yeah.
first dibs on food. And
And it would usually be a female that would be at the top of it.
right.
Now we'll have them to us again, because Ishka is slightly slow in his following. Oh no, there he is. Okay, we'll continue on. We'll go on a bit further. I thought I hadn't heard him coming. He was letting me walk just a little bit too far. I have an expectation of how far I should walk before they start to come, and how quickly they should come when we ask them to come. And they need to fall within that to get a perfect rapport with me about them.
So right now they're stalking us.
Hopefully they're stalking me or keeping an eye on me anyway. But always keeping one eye on the surrounding area as well.
Right.
They're both being absolutely perfect. They eat only raw meat, no fruit or seeds or vegetation whatsoever.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's chopped up beef that they're having now, but at the end of the day, we don't just give them a lump of beef. They need to have fur and feather and skin and small bones and so on. And they eat the whole thing, everything bar intestine. So it might be, it's all dead meat though, but it might be mice or rabbits or pheasants. Now let's have them now. So both gloves up.
All right.
Here she comes, a beautiful glide down. Hey! Hey, come on!
Where'd he go?
Now I think he has not moved from where we
Oops.
saw
Oh,
him.
should I not reward that?
We ought to not
All right.
let her have it, actually.
All right, I'm not.
Good girl. Hey!
Oh, she's persistent.
Good girl, Millie. Hey, come on! Now, as far as I know, we saw him land in that sort of dark green tree down the bottom there when we came that way. I'm just going to tap your glove. Hey!
Oh, okay.
Hey!
Maybe he's afraid of Millie.
Now, he is up in weight today, but he has been perfect so far. I think he's probably moved. I don't think he'll just be sitting there completely ignoring us, because he hasn't shown me any behaviour so far to indicate that would be a sign of him being very overweight, for instance.
Right.
I don't think he would do that at this weight. He might have had a crack at catching something, or else he's flown off a slightly different way. Now, the other falconer is out and about as well, so sometimes we kind of swap over.
Crossover.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'll wait for him for a couple more minutes now.
All right.
Hey! Hey! Listen for a bell. Hey! I'll try tapping your glove again,
All
because
right.
movement, if he is sitting in a tree, hey, ignoring me, hey. No, okay, I'm going to let her go.
All right.
We'll walk back and see if we can
Oh,
find
she's
him.
persistent
okay,
again.
Let her have it now.
Let her have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's been spot on.
Go ahead,
really,
honey.
So I'm not going to be too strict and fussy with her. And
She
then
had
walk
it.
along this way, and she
All right.
can take herself off as we go.
All right.
The other habit that Ishka has, now he doesn't usually do it here, he loves to bath outdoors. Now you saw that they all had a bath back at the falconry school.
Right.
But Ishka very rarely uses his. He's Mr. Au Natural.
Oh, I see. Mr. Natural.
And he likes to go. Now
Like-
he usually
like a man.
does it much further up. There is a really boggy spot in the middle, and the lake is just the other side of these woods. So it's very rare for him to go and bath at this point.
Mm-hmm.
His main bathing point is much higher up. Good girl, Millie. So I'm interested now as to whether he's gone for a bath,
Right.
or whether he's seen something like a mouse or a bird, or he's got a crack at something.
Mm-hmm.
So the last time I saw him now, he came up into this pool,
Right.
or whether he's gone to join the other falconer. Those are the options of what might have happened.
Okay.
Yeah, he certainly isn't still just sitting there and ignoring us. I don't think he would be. So we're going to have her come down, and I'll give a whistle and a shout, and we'll see whether he appears here. And we'll listen for the bell here to see if he's caught a mouse. I'll give you
Okay.
meat for her. Hey! Oh, now there she's after something. She might have spotted him, actually. Let's come over and have a look. I think she might have got him for something.
See what they got.
Now, I don't know, I don't think he's here. This might be a separate incident. If you want to come quite quickly, I think she might have got it, if you want to see her. You see her spread her wings out. Actually,
Right,
perhaps
she's
she
like
hasn't got
mine.
it because they start to feed quite quickly. Now, it'll only be a mouse. No, I think she hasn't got it, because usually they bend down and start to eat very quickly.
Oh,
when they're
she's still looking around.
Hey! I just want to keep Ishka in my... Have you got something? Oh, I hear a bell actually, so he's not that far away. Hey! He might have caught himself something. No, she's missed it, bless her. Yeah, I hear him.
Do you have the meat?
Hey! Come on! She's got a big foot full of leaves. So unfortunately for her, bless her, she missed it.
She was close.
But
Oh, is she
then,
unsure? Is that why she's looking around?
Yes, yeah. And she'll know that it's there somewhere. But you see, now that it knows that there's a hawk about,
It's gone.
it won't move.
Right.
And did you see she did the lovely glide across? They just set their wings
Right.
so that they move as little as possible as they're coming
Yeah,
in to
very
try and
quiet.
take it by surprise. Because a mouse knows that a hawk hunts largely on movement. So it'll know now just not to move, and she'll actually overlook it. She won't find it if it doesn't move at all. Now I think I can hear his bell somewhere. Hey! I'm not sure if it's coming from in there or if it's over there. Hey! I heard it every now and again. So
Yeah.
either he's caught something or he's barking, one or the other. But I couldn't quite, because when they're on the ground, the bell doesn't move much, as you can see.
Right. Right.
I'm not sure whether he's further in or whether he went over there. I'll come and have a little listen in the woods over here. I should have kept him in my sight and not left him out of my sight. Bless her, I thought she had that.
Right.
I'll listen here a bit. Hey! Good girl. Good girl. No, there's nothing in there though.
She's like, what? Did you find something?
Good girl for coming anyway. We'll see if there's another mouse for you. So now I want to try and track him down.
Mm-hmm. So
If
how would we
he's
go about
bathing, then he'll be soaking wet. He'll come how's your footwear? You've got quite robust footwear. And let's
Yes.
have a little adventure, a little romp.
that? You think we should go through?
And because I don't really want to go off without him, although I can
Right.
do if we don't find him within a reasonable space of time. But we can continue to fly her.
Let's try to find him.
Just whether I could find a better way in, because this is rather, it is rather a bit
Quite
of an
thick.
impenetrable jungle.
Yes.
Hey! I'm not sure where he would have gone for bathing.
Well, he was on the side over here. Do you think he crossed over?
Oh yeah, he would if he's going for a bath.
Oh, I see.
Here. He's going to try and catch a mouse again. She might have it this time, might she? I saw her just suddenly then see movement. See, I can hear his bell. As falconers, we do tend to imagine bells sometimes, but
Here, bells in yours.
do you hear that? The other bell, that's him, that's not her.
No.
So he's not far away. Now I don't think she's got it again,
No.
bless her, because usually they start to eat straight away. But they can get in a bit of a vicious circle because the mouse won't move while she's here, but as soon as we start to take her away,
He'll move.
he obviously made his little move then and he nearly got it then again. I wonder where he is then, he's close by. Hey! Now, if he's eaten a mouse, if he's caught a mouse, I'll be able to tell when he does come back. And also he won't be able to lie.
He won't be able to
You
lie.
can try, but I'll find him out. But also, if they catch a mouse, they do eat it quite quickly, unless it's a big one. And so I would have expected him to have reappeared before now. So I'm more inclined to think that he's having a bath. Hey! I'll give you food again
I
for
saw
her.
some.
Oh, you
She
do?
didn't take
Okay.
it.
So you can hold up your fist. Hey! Oh, he's here somewhere. Hey! Good girl. Here he's coming, I think.
Oh, wonderful.
I hear his bell. I can't see him though. Hey! We'll come a bit further down. You can just walk with her and she'll take off.
All right.
And I hear his bell, I think, a bit further down here. Oh, the other way.
Off she goes.
Very close by here. I think he might have caught something. It sounds like on the ground.
Yeah. We lost a bird.
Just over.
Oh, incoming.
He's so silent when they're flying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's the other side. He's in the tennis court.
Oh, he is.
Which are locked actually, so I've got a problem now. I can't. You can just see him. He's here.
Where is he?
He's caught something quite big actually.
Oh, he's
I'm gonna
right,
have to
right
He's
under.
caught a little pine martin.
He's right through the fence here.
Yeah. Now if I can.
Oh, there he
for a
is.
moment,
Yes, I see him. He's right here.
just through here,
Oh.
and I can smell
There he
it.
is.
You see.
What is it?
It's a. I think it's
Is it
a
a
young
bird?
pine martin or a stoat. No, it's not a bird.
Oh, it's a little fuzzy
But I'll
thing.
need to. Typical now. It would be just when the tennis courts were locked. They never used to lock them. And I would have been able to get in.
Well, will he leave when he's finished?
Yeah, but I don't really want him to eat all that.
Oh.
It's not the end of the world, but it does mean that I can't fly him again
Oh.
today.
Oh, I
Now,
see.
If I give her to you for the moment, I'll just see if there's any possible way of me getting in there.
All right.
And I don't have a phone with me to be able to call the castle and say.
Mine was in
Now
my bag
close
that
your
I left
fist. Perfect. Now I'm just going to tie her on to you for the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness me, now he'll be absolutely delighted with himself.
He's gonna be fat on the hog tonight.
He will. No, I don't think I'm going to manage
What you got there?
to climb. Oh, I see a
Okay,
big
baby.
hole in the other door. Right, if you,
Oh,
if
you can go through the
carry
door.
her and come with me, we're going to have to
All right.
walk around.
Okay.
Now,
Excellent.
she might flap a little as we carry her, but if you do your best there, that's it. Just to keep hold of her, because I don't want her to challenge him for it.
Right.
If she's really difficult, then I'll take her off to you, but we'll just come around the edge here. Luckily for us, it looks as if someone else has broken into the tennis courts in the past.
Oh, there's a gap in the gate.
I think so. I think I spotted. Now,
Yeah,
whether I
I think
get
there's a
through it, I don't know, but
All
we'll
right.
have a look now.
There
Oh,
was a
oh.
hole in the fence on the other side.
Was there? Right, we'll have a look now and see what the possibilities are.
All right.
Your from what I can see, it looks to me as if he's caught either a young pine marten or a young stoat, which
Alright.
is like a small ferret. It's a member of sort of the mink
Okay.
family. Now we'll see.
Oh yeah, look at him.
Yeah, I'm going to manage to get through. So we see him over the other side there. Now, if I can ask you just to wait here with him,
Sure.
with her rather, for a moment.
You can get through there, okay?
And I'll go. Well, I'm not going to manage to get it open because of the padlock. I'm just
Okay.
going to go through
All right.
and get him.
All right.
This is going to be on YouTube.
Yes.
On one of those "You've Been Framed" programs as I
Look at her.
wriggle through.
Flexibility.
There you go. Nice
Right.
job.
Now, I'll show you in a moment what he's got, but I'll just do an exchange with him if I can.
You might be keen on what he already has.
You should be able to zoom even if you're videoing.
Yeah, I'm zoomed.
Okay.
Look, he's like, what'd you do with my dinner? He's running.
I think he's full.
It is. It's a young pine marten.
Ah.
There's a lot of them in this area actually, because I think pine martens worldwide can be quite rare, but
I see.
thankfully
Now should I take him from you through
there
the...
are loads of them. Well, he can hop up.
Oh, all right.
Now, luckily, he hadn't actually. I don't think he's eaten very much. Now we can't look at his prey now, obviously with them here. But when we get
Right.
back to falconry school, if you want to, then you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
But from what I could see of it, I don't think he's eaten very much at all.
Okay.
Which is lucky. Now I'm coming out bottom first, so I'm if that's on
I did
YouTube,
not
I
video
should-
that. Look, I'm deliberately looking over here. See? Bit of dignity's been preserved.
He was making little low guttural sounds.
No
Yeah.
noises, absolutely.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, it was very subtle, but
Yeah, little squeaks and funny noises for me
What-
wandering off,
what-
I think.
Oh, because she was uncomfortable with you being
No,
away, you think?
well, just calling to me, I think, and squeaking for. Although she's about, what is she now? 3 years old or 4 years old. She's still quite immature. She has lots of little babyish characteristics.
Ah,
Okay, now we'll bring her back round, and he'll follow us.
and he'll follow us, all right?
Pine martens, I think, have quite a tough, thick skin. All right, I'll let her go because she's being very good, really. All right, you can open your fist. We'll just walk along again. You can go. Now there's feathers there. Something's had a kill there. That might have been one of our hawks. I think I might be in luck in that I don't think he's managed to break the skin yet. Either not at all or certainly not very much.
Ah,
And squirrels are the same actually. Squirrels have a very tough skin and it can take them quite a long time
I see.
to break into it.
That's why you were so busy.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And you can see that he wasn't going to leave it. You know, I could have whistled and shouted as much as I wanted. Now we'll head up this way.
Right.
But he wasn't about to leave it. Now he should follow us. He's still over the
she's
other
like,
side.
what did he
of-
have?
Yeah.
Eye on the pair of them now.
He's still sitting on the other
Yeah, I think I'm in luck, and I don't think he's broken into it at all.
All right.
So he hasn't actually had any food.
Any
So
meat.
having thought that
Yeah.
he would have eaten half of it, and I wouldn't be able to fly him again today. You know, he'll be fine. Now I'll give you some meat for them both.
All right.
As we're going along, okay, and you can hold it with this. Hey,
Okay.
hey! And now, as it should be, we've got both hawks coming in. Perfect. Almost
Welcome back.
off. And then we'll turn and walk this way.
All right.
You can keep your fingers open so that she can continue to satisfy herself that there's absolutely nothing.
Nothing there.
She's much more about making
Yes,
sure it's
yes. Yeah, well, he is higher in weight than she is. In terms, of course, she weighs much
so.
more than him. She's determined to get that
Yeah,
man
she's
there.
And he's like, what do you got?
And he then he saw something, and as he got closer, he thought, oh no, I'm mistaken. And he veered off.
That's amazing that they can see something like that.
Oh, unbelievable. We'll have them go, you know, from here and go 3/4 of the way to the end and catch a mouse.
Wow.
You know, we see incredible examples of what they are capable of seeing. Now I want to try and get them into the woods with us as soon as I can because they're extremely distracted out here, and I'm going to have a job now to keep their attention on me.
Right.
And then as we go through the woods, they'll be a bit happier because they know there's a fair chance then of them seeing something. Good girl, here she comes. And he's coming, perfect. I just have to remember which tree. I think our path
And he's up there.
here.
Whoops.
We have a secret pathway. Good girl, Lily. Yes, it's here. And I'm very pleased there's been no aggression between them at all. She hasn't picked on him or bullied him at all, so I'm delighted at that. You know, they're working extremely well. So we'll come through the woods. Now they tend to fly very close to us in here, so they do come low over your head.
All right.
They tend to follow our route, so they just rudely burst past.
Like that.
Like that. And you see how they love coming into the woods. Look at them both scanning down. The slightest movement. And this is, you know, it's a bit of a nuisance time of year for us because although it's lovely and usually people like yourselves really enjoy seeing them catch something, you know, and it's rare to see them. It's rare to see them catch something. It's certainly like the little baby pine martin, which it is. But for us, of course, it's an absolute nuisance because they catch mice left, right, and centre.
I know, yeah.
And the amount of work then that they're prepared to do that day is dramatically reduced once they've had themselves a nice little snack. But you see how they can fly through here with no bother at all, you know?
It's amazing, actually. They can control their wingspan and still.
Absolutely, just zipping through that system. So that's why you know, they're doing very well now. Looks like doing exactly what they're doing. Around here, they're going to stand around for our park. And if we were hunting for real in areas with rabbits and pheasants, I would be into the bushes a bit. Or I could have a working dog that I might have with me that would be bumping around close quarters and close prey.
Right. Do you think they see you as part of the hunting troop?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. They should see me as being sort of like a Harris hawk, really, or as part of their team.
I mean, it makes sense because you know you're part of their food getting system in a way.
And food tends to come a lot easier through working with us than it does without.
Right.
I mean, the food they get from coming to the glove is, you know, food for nothing practically.
Right.
But you can see that they would prefer to try and catch something than they would to come to
they enjoy the
us.
hunt, right? I mean,
Well, it's not so much that, they get a bigger reward for it. Because remember that they won't hunt unless they have to.
I see.
So it's difficult. My husband just lives for his hunting, and he always says that the birds enjoy hunting. But then he can't sort of explain to me why they won't do it at all unless their weight is correct. But no, I think he's right. I think there certainly is an element of them. They are so bred to do it that beyond a doubt. And we have known birds chase prey when they have it easy to, and their weights are pretty fast. You know, we have known them just for the hell of it. Sometimes they won't always catch it. Deliberately they won't catch it, but sometimes they'll chase it. And they're just like, oh, you know, could have had this. I'm still as good as I thought I was. You know. Absolutely, practicing my skills. But you're lucky I'm not hungry enough and I want to fight with you. Okay, you can hold up your fists now. Hey!
All right.
And turn and look for them, both fists up. Perfect. And you see they both mantle over the glove there. They drop their wings down. Now you can relax your elbow slowly into your side. I'll take up his jesses this time. So you've got your original partner back now then. I can get her in a minute, that's all right. Lovely morning, isn't it?
Gorgeous. They look beautiful.
Can we make the most of this nice weather? Now I will give you a little piece hidden in your glove again.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! They knew.
We had to be quick off the mark. She's heavily in molt actually at the moment. Yeah. I've been watching her flying, and I did notice that she was flying a little bit odd, and now I see why. So I'm quite pleased to discover why. Now I'm going to get you to drop your thumb higher and your elbow down. That's it.
We'll hold on to her.
Yeah, when she was flying slightly skew-if. And I was trying to figure out the whole time, so if I've been a bit distracted, that's partly what I'm thinking. Why is she flying like that? And I've just seen the reason now. When she landed on the glove, she does have a gap in her wing, which I assumed was because of the molt, and it is. When she opened her wing a minute ago, I mean, there should be, you can see even there should be a lot more feathers there. You know, those feathers are kind of like stuck out on their own.
Yep.
But you see them coming?
Yes.
Those are new feathers growing down, so she's very heavily in molt. They molt in a set sequence to try and keep themselves flyable through the molt. So they should drop them out, one on each wing at a time in a set order. And then they shouldn't drop the next one until that one is a good halfway down.
wow.
But she's actually dropped slightly too many there. She's got 2 or 3 that are halfway down. She's obviously dropped at the same time. Now, we were flying her earlier in the year at a very high fat weight, and I think that's why. She thought, oh, I'm really fat, I can afford to drop out these feathers, you know, the living is good, I don't need to panic.
Right. And that's
How long does it take the feathers to grow?
Well, if we fly them through the molt, then it will take them 4 or 5 months before the molt is completed. If you don't fly them, like some of the birds that were in the aviaries there, those have ad-lib food and they're not in work at the moment. If we fatten them up, turn them loose into an aviary, give them loads of food and don't fly them, then they'll molt quicker. They can do it in 3 months. Complete molt. So some of the ones that we really want to fly in the winter, we tend to give them most of the summer off and they'll molt really quickly.
And we molt everything? All their feathers?
They do. We'll walk back with them. Now there might be a bit of flapping or a bit of fainting, but we're both experts at that. And I'll show you
hold them under
this,
control.
This little pine martin when we get back. Now the pine martin that he caught, he has to be very careful how he catches it. Although this is, although it's a young one, it's, you know, it's half grown. Because they have a horrific bite on them. They're quite a ferocious predator.
Oh.
And the is just like a stoat, you know, a tiny stoat can catch big rabbits and they kill with a bite to the back of the neck. And they've really deadly teeth. Oh, well, I'll show you. So he has to be careful how he catches that. Although it's much smaller than him and he's capable of catching a big adult rabbit up to 3 times his own body weight. Even so, if he catches it wrongly and it bites him, that can be quite a serious wound or injury. Now, I don't see any wounds on him, so I think he managed to get it sufficiently. But they have an instinct to catch their prey by the head of the neck.
Right, so it can't bite them.
Absolutely, so yeah. So if it's something that kicks, they're away from the back legs, and if it's something that bites, they have hold of the dangerous bit. All birds of prey want to kill quickly to avoid injury to themselves.
Right.
Injury is their biggest cause of death in the wild. So they want to kill quickly. They don't play with their prey or anything gruesome like that. And by grabbing it by the head of the neck is the best way that they're likely to kill it quickly. That's exciting bird.
Wonderful.
Far more exciting
Wonderful.
than I was expecting. She's also molted out a load of feathers on her chest. You see her messy
she's
chest
very
I see that, yeah.
So she's, they molt out all the little ones, but they molt through the big ones as well.
Can we take a few photos?
You can, yeah.
Wonderful.
You want me to take some photos of the 2 of you with them?
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
wonderful
go away.
too. All right. Say goodbye. Trying on video.
Bye.
Bye.
This is so I can keep him tied on. This is his equipment. It's a little bit thinner. And a lot of this equipment and how we train and hunt with the birds is largely unchanged since the beginning of falconry. And the earliest evidence we have of falconry goes back as far as 2000 BC in China and Japan. So way before you had a gun or a bow and arrow, this was a serious means of putting food on the table for yourself and your family.
How do you get the food from the bird when it retrieves?
Yeah, or just like I did with Ishka. Now, see, as I approached Ishka, he was very possessive over
Yeah,
this.
give you the shoulder and the wings. And
Absolutely. And I needed just to, I mean, it is a little bit sneaky in that I needed, because I was going to trade it for a smaller reward of meat.
right.
And
So-
I have to make sure that he can't have both.
Right.
So you have to try and have hold of the prey, basically, by what he's caught. Otherwise, of course, he'll keep both. You know, they're not that sort of honest and fair.
Right.
They'll be, oh, okay, you know, yes, I'll stop
Right.
that. They will try sneaky things given half the chance.
But in the wild, say he did catch that and she came to grab a piece. Would
they
she just
would've-
muscle her way in and say,
Well-
hey, I'm alpha, I'm going to have some?
He's quite a dominant character. So really, I don't think he would have given up quite that easily.
So they would scuffle a bit over it?
Yeah, I mean, if they've caught something big like a rabbit, they'll share very amicably, because one of them can be munching away, and close your fist there. One of them can be munching away on the front end, and the other can be on the back end.
I see.
But with something as small as that, obviously with a mouse, there's no dispute. I mean, it's practically in the mouse before they.
Right.
And I'll have
Right.
that one back. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and they don't squabble too much over that, because it's gone before there's a chance to do that. But over that pine marten, yeah, no, they wouldn't have shared that very amicably. There would have been scuffles and squabbles between the two of them.
Bit small to share.
Yeah. Certainly, because they would have been too close to each other to try and feed on one end of it or the other end of it. But he was very good. He could have tried to fly off with it as he saw me approaching, and he didn't. So you close your fist now and just keep them slightly up, and so your elbow is lower than your thumb. And you can bring them back up, and we'll come and put them back outside. Watch
All
the
right.
head again.
Excellent.
They can sit out on their outside perches. And then if I need to, I can fly if lucky for us.
I can definitely tell the difference in demeanor here. They're so much more comfortable. You can just tell they're...
Yes, yes. Well, they know exactly. It's not so much more comfortable, but they know there's going to be nothing to catch.
Right.
Nothing coming.
Right.
They know.
They don't need to be as alert.
Absolutely. But outside, you know, they go on to red alert. They need to be comfortable flying. Their reaction times are extremely quick. You know, when we're hunting with them, they might just be sitting in a tree 1 minute, and a rabbit moves at 0 to 60. You know, the reactions are fantastic. Now, I'll untie Ishka. He needs a double untying. So if you open your fist now to let go of everything, he'll step up onto my glove, and this is his perch here. This is his brother in front of him, Shanty,
Oh, wonderful.
and his other brother is there, Hillary. We've got 3 brothers.
Excellent.
And 2 of the new boys, the baby boys that we looked at earlier, are related to these. Because these 3 brothers are 3 of the best hawks we've ever had, so we were quite keen to try and continue with that line if we could. Now if you open your fist to let go of her, she steps up.
What is their hunting lifetime? How old until
Well,
they...
they can hunt for as long as they're alive, basically. We've never yet stopped hunting birds.
Oh,
Because we felt it was too old.
okay.
And they can live for 15 to 20 years. Some of the hawks that we're looking at here now are 10 years old. Okay. I was going to show you Millie's father, but he's out actually.
Oh,
He's not there.
he's out doing his thing.
But the hawk in the aviary over there is Millie's sister. She's 1 year behind her. They bred Millie 1 year, and then they bred her the next.
Excellent.
Okay, right, come on in then.
When we were out there, I had to resist the urge to pointing. I had to go like, oh, look over there with this hand.
Oh, what a shame. Oh. Now, I think that is a pine. I think that's a young pine marten. Or do you think it's a stoat? Is it a stoat?
It looks like a stoat.
It might be a stoat, actually. So, in fact, it's not young. It is fully grown.
That one looks like a ferret.
Yeah, they're the
like a
same
little ferret.
family. Same family.
Ishka, I gather.
Yeah. In the tennis courts.
Oh,
So I had
that's a
luckily
shame.
there's a hole in the tennis court door, otherwise I couldn't get in there because it's locked now.
And he was not going to come out.
That is such a shame.
Well, it's better than it being a young pine marten.
Well, I gather.
I'm more happy that it's a stoat, and it's a fully grown stoat. And I could smell. I knew that he'd caught something of this family because they're the same family, I think, as a skunk, and they spray when they're in threat. And
Did it look like it sprayed on him?
well, no, thankfully, because if it had, he would stink of it for days, and so would I. But so I think it had. I think it had sprayed, but it hadn't sprayed on him. Because as soon as we heard the bell and I got close to the other side, thinking, "What's he got?" then I could smell it straight away. I thought, "It's a ferrety something."
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Well, I'm happier that it's a stoat. Because I'd rather it's better that way round. Stoats are not that endangered. I mean, pine martens are not endangered in this area. There's loads of them, but worldwide they are a more rarer species than a stoat.
That's such fab little beasties, though.
They are, I know. I mean, we have ferrets. We love ferrets. We use the ferrets as part of the hunting team, so
I
we're
see.
keen on all those sorts of things. But luckily for me, he didn't. You might be able to smell it, can you? I can. You probably won't go. I want to get too close to it, will you? Put you off.
Oh yeah, he's definitely has a musk. Yeah.
This definitely does
Something
aroma.
that small can take like a full-grown rabbit that weighs
Yeah.
5 times.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Can we keep that so I can show
So
you?
he's the one with the sharp
See,
teeth
look
there.
at their
the-
teeth
tongue.
there.
Um,
You see that there's the top one. I don't think I'll get his jaw to open. There.
Oh, there we go.
oh, it looks like a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fangs,
definitely got the.
But for the size
canine.
of animal he is,
Yeah.
that's serious.
Yeah.
Serious teeth.
So he lucked out. He got him before.
Yeah, because if that had bitten, it can break a toe, or it can certainly be a very nasty wound that would
Right.
then get him. We would have to be looking at antibiotics and
Oh,
so on.
what a mess.
But luckily for me, they must have very tough skins because he hadn't managed to break into it, and I'd lost him for quite a while. I mean, we were looking
Yeah,
for him
he's
for quite a while,
Yeah.
so
working
we were
it
lucky that he
Mm.
hadn't managed to break into it. Yes, you may keep that and show that to you. Has she not seen one?
She's never seen one
Jason's
before.
wife is Australian, so
Oh, nice.
any island species he's wanting to show. Pop him in the fridge, I should. For
Yeah.
Not next to the lunch.
You get used to that.
Luckily, we have a bird fridge and a person.
Oh,
So
excellent,
we try-
excellent.
We try not to mix them.
Excellent.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Right, now your bag was next door. I'll bring
Yes,
it. I'll
yes.
take those gloves actually.
Oh,
and I
great,
can
yes,
pop them-
these are yours.
You're wedged in there actually.
There's-
You'll be
I know.
permanently fixed.
There we
I'll
go.
bring your bag back through.
Thank you.
Did you have a good experience?
I did.
Was it lovely?